Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now July 11th of 2023, and given that Mission Impossible is releasing today across the entire world, as well as in the United States here, there's a lot of things going on also with Indiana Jones 5. You guys may or may not know this, but if you guys check out throughout your show times day by day, you will notice that the movie is getting diminished every single day out of theaters as Disney pulls Indiana Jones 5 out of theaters at a very rapid rate. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support, and let's get right into the subject, shall we? Now, we know one thing about Phoebe Waller-Bridge is that she was by far, I believe at least, the most toxic element of Indiana Jones 5. If you guys have seen the film, I don't know if you guys share the same exact emotional response as me, but I genuinely felt depressed watching this film. Very much saddened and just felt like it was a very dull movie. It didn't agree with me and just felt like a waste of time. It really just did not feel like an Indiana Jones film. It felt more like a Jumanji movie or something around those lines. I can't really quite put my finger on it, but it didn't feel like it held the same spirit. And that's exactly why there's such a problem with Indiana Jones 5, is that this movie really did not need to get made. However, the box office is another story, because that's really a disaster and it's not doing well. However, on top of all of this, alright, there's a lot of drama surrounding Phoebe Waller-Bridge behind the scenes, as we reported a couple of days ago. There's a lot of problems between the board and Bob Iger and their shakeup and what's going on with that. However, right now, with those like Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Kathleen Kennedy heavily defending Indy 5, just as Mission Impossible 7 is releasing in theaters, it's noticed that behind the scenes, one of the big updates surrounding Phoebe Waller-Bridge's firing by Disney from specific Disney projects because of what happened with Indy 5 just got more intense. That was decided by Bob Iger and the board. As it turns out, Phoebe Waller-Bridge was not only fired from the Lando show, but also from an unannounced Star Wars project that will be unveiled at D23 that was going to bring in Phoebe Waller-Bridge as yet another character in human form, this time around that was going to be connected to the Mandoverse. Her character was described to be a humanoid character, actually, however, that was another Kathleen Kennedy self-insert, along with other no Star Wars-related projects, such as a new movie focusing on witches, where Phoebe Waller-Bridge was attached to a role to play one of the witches in an upcoming Disney project, as well as losing the offer to appear as a new character in the Cruella sequel that's in the very early development phase with Emma Stone. That, of course, is now completely fallen apart as well to other Disney major movies, of course, that were also in development that will be announced at D23 in September. So, guys, let me just, say one thing about this, is that the thing about Phoebe Waller-Bridge is that it's quite funny that she was getting that offer for Cruella 2. I could see why they would want her in that role. Most likely was going to focus on London or something around those lines again. But looking at this in specifics, alright, we know that she was let go from 4 major Disney movies. Can you believe that? They wanted her in 4 major Disney movies. Now, we already know that there's a lot of rumblings, and we'll talk about this more in a second, about her involvement in Alien Romulus, which we talked about this. It takes place in between, I believe, Alien and Aliens, so it's like an inter-film. And what's interesting about this is her character is an android named Rook. Now, that's one of the biggest, developments that has been happening for Romulus that is leading a lot of fans to believe that Alien under Disney is not going to work, I don't think it's going to have the same spirit, to be honest with you guys. The fact that they have Alien now, Disney is literally getting everything and has been really going after almost all of our fan-favorite franchises out there. I don't even know where we can point to where we can have our childhood franchises and it's not Disney anymore. It seems like that's spreading. And that's why Disney needs to stop. That's why Disney needs to just become a big failure and prevent any, of our fan favorite franchises from getting wrecked any further. So, The thing about Phoebe Waller-Bridge, though, and we've talked about this before, is that the board wanted her out because of what happened with The Dial of Destiny and its box office results. And it's not just because of that, but it's also because they have taken a lot of notes about how the fan reception had a lot to do about her character specifically. They've noticed that a lot of people would have loved this movie a whole lot more if it weren't for Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character at all, and all of that like. Now, on to the next. This fallout of Phoebe losing so many roles with Disney, however, not all is because of what happened with Indy 5, and Disney noticing that much of the fallout also had to do with Phoebe Waller's acting style as being very abrasive, toxic, and self-absorbed for the story that did not agree with many Indiana Jones audiences. Now, the film, alright, of course, for Phoebe Waller-Bridge is, of course, that she lost 6 whole projects at Disney, 2 of which were Star Wars related. However, she is said to appear in Alien Romulus, like we said before, and as an android. And further connections beyond that film are currently off the table completely, as Disney wants to distance away from Waller-Bridge. Indy 5 is also rapidly diminishing its showtimes day by day as Disney pulls the movie out completely as Mission Impossible releases. Now, does that not sound like they are accepting defeat? That they realize that Mission Impossible is just going to completely make them look like a fool? By keeping this movie in the theaters, I bet so, because we have heard a couple of days ago as part of those emergency meetings that part of those meetings were to pull out a lot of Indy 5 showtimes from all of the theaters across the nation, and all of the theaters across the world too. So, to confirm this, guys, I would like you all to check out your showtimes. If you type in Indy 5 showtimes, scroll day by day, and look at specific theaters, you're going to notice those showtimes drastically reducing, some theaters themselves just vanishing completely in a day's time. You will notice this, and a lot of you guys have been reporting back to me. Thank you so very much. So, yeah, that's where we're standing today, and I advise everyone to check out Mission Impossible 7, because this is where it's at. This is true cinema, I feel. This is coming from the heart and true passion. I don't know about you guys, but when I saw Indy 5, and I said this before, I just felt downright depressed and just lost as to what this really was. Some people out there loved it and had a lot of fun with this movie, and hey, look, we're all human. If you like what you like, you don't like what you don't like, right? But a lot of people do not like this movie. That's a given fact. And that's nothing that Disney can change with any kind of PR stunts or any kind of apologies. As they embrace this apology train further, that's not going to do much, any kind of damage control in the least. So anyways, I would like to say one other thing is that Phoebe Waller-Bridge really needs to change her acting style, because you guys may notice that her acting is the same exact thing in every single project, much like Brie Larson. Brie Larson is a very wooden actress acting style, and then Phoebe Waller is more of the abrasive, toxic, pushy attitude when it comes to her acting. But overall, guys, drop a comment below, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
From night to moon we hear